When it comes to mining Bitcoin, there's a lot of manufacturers these days that make Bitcoin miners. Honestly, more than ever, which is cool. Competition is very good for me, a consumer, a Bitcoin miner. And by the way, this isn't my factory. We're checking in from Digital Shovel, who make basically plug and play Bitcoin mining containers. Originally famous for their mini pod, they're now releasing what is called the Nano Pod, which is a smaller version that can run on single phase easily, as well as other electrical setups. But let's focus on the Bitmain Antminers. Bitmain Antminers are famous. Bitmain has been producing these for, over a decade now. These are ASIC miners, application-specific integrated circuit miners. These are purpose-built machines that mine one mining algorithm normally, in this case, Bitcoin's algorithm, SHA-256. And their S17 generation was pretty bad. Their S19 generation, which was the follow-up to that, was pretty good. Before both of those was the S9, legendary, and now we are at the S21 Bitcoin miner generation. Most of these machines you see by me are S19s. The S21s are a bit of a bigger form factor. We've got S21 miners deployed on our farm. But like, what the f is an S21 anyway, right? So it's a Bitcoin miner, and they hash over 200 terahash a second or more, 240 on the S21 Pros, 270 on the S21 XPs, and they have an immersion model, which is liquid-cooled Bitcoin mining, that does a whopping 300 terahash a second, which is basically like 3 of these all in one box. And that is how Bitcoin miners continue to get more powerful, more efficient, and more dense, all the while not consuming that much more power than the previous generation. They are getting a bit bigger though.
Hey, you want to buy a mining rig? Do you want a pretty good price on it and pretty fast shipping? Then you may be looking for ASIC Marketplace. Click our link in the video description below to not only support our channel, but support yourself with the coupon code we've got right next to it.
Depending on which Bitcoin miner model you have that we just talked about, you could be earning around $17 a day in Bitcoin every day, passive income. And I'm showing you this because I'm honestly very excited to be getting one of these, deploying it on my farm. It's going to allow me to rapidly scale here as we are in what I think and believe to be the front end of the next Bitcoin and crypto bull run. So over here is the Nanopod, and you can see with the orientation of these miners, they lay sideways, and that's fine. And in this pretty small pod, I mean, it's less than 6 by 8. It's small. But the point is, crazy density to allow rapid deployment of 27 miners. All you're doing is running your electric circuit into this, running an Ethernet cable in. It's got a supplied switch up there inside, and then you come off of that and give power and internet connection to all of these mining rigs. And then at that point, I'm gonna do the math on a calculator so I don't mess this up. So at that point, right, you've got 27 of these, and you're mining about $17 a day on each of these. Or more importantly, a certain Bitcoin amount. But we'll break it down in USD because you'll probably buy these in USD. Depending on your electricity rate, it'll cut into that dollar amount. Like for me, these are gonna cost about $7 a day to run at my current electricity rate, but that's $459 a day in passive income. Or very easy math, I got this one, $270 in daily mining profitability after I account for my electrical expenses. Obviously you gotta buy the pod and stuff too, but check out our content on that stuff. I'm not here to pitch you the pod, I'm just here to go through these numbers and have fun. I'm very excited. But the ability to just rapidly deploy this stuff, and even beyond just the nanopod mining, right? This is something I can stick in my yard, right? And of course you can DIY a mining shed if you want to. That's a very fun project, but it's very challenging, and it ends up being a lot more work and a lot more expensive than you would initially think, at least if you do it right. $459, right, times 365, that's a $167,000 business. Like this alone. Obviously there's a heavy upfront capital cost, but after that you're earning over $167,000 a day. Or if I take that 270 number over the next year, I'm pulling basically 6 figures in passive income, not doing a thing. I personally think that Bitcoin has a bright future. I think that it's going to continue increasing in price. Like on average, it has basically throughout its whole lifetime. People are calling for 250K Bitcoin. This is crazy that you can just plug a computer in, contribute to this network, because Bitcoin mining is essentially the crowdsourcing of the Bitcoin mining network. Bitcoin miners, in conjunction with Bitcoin nodes, run the network. They decentralize the coin, they process the transactions, and they distribute the new coins that are mined. Every 10 minutes, 3 1/8 of a Bitcoin are mined. And that goes to miners, in addition to all of the transaction fees, which are paid with every Bitcoin transaction. The Bitmain Antminer series in particular is nothing short of just notorious. Some of these miners have been great investments. Some of them have been very frustrating. The S21 series in particular, their original batch, didn't do all that well. Honestly, most of mine have broken and need to be warranted. I've had poor cooling from improper pasting on the hash boards, to failed power supplies and dead control boards. It's nearly everything that could go wrong other than just the fans on the machine. Yet, they still produce in volume. They make the most of these, and you're normally getting the best or most hash rate for the money with these miners. Check out our video on the MicroBT Whatsminers for another popular and absolutely robust option from this current miner generation. What am I gonna do moving forward with my mining farm? Well, with the nanopod, it's perfectly set up to accommodate these Antminers. So it's really pushing me more back towards that way. However, Whatsminers can absolutely be deployed in here, and of course many other applications, but you're gonna need to change the backing sheet because they simply have a different form factor. And because of the dual fan orientation on the Antminer series, as opposed to the one big fan orientation on the MicroBT Whatsminer series, you're just gonna end up with more airflow through the machine, through the hash boards by design. Especially in a purpose-built product like this, that there's literally nowhere for the air to go except through the miners right here. Everything else is blocked off. So all the air coming in through these intake shrouds that is being pulled out by the 6 exhaust fans on the backside are going right through here. There's nowhere else for it to go. And that's forced cooling, which basically just yields better results. If you want to yield better results, subscribe to the VoskCoin channel. It's that simple. I mean, come on, you got to pitch yourself, right? I'm Vosk. I hope you enjoyed the content. This is 10 Seconds of Tales. And behind the camera today is the venerable Vincent, who also just became a Maple Leafs fan. Yeah, let's go. Go Canada!